Hey, what is up, everybody? We are live from University Heights, and we are back with the Wyatt Wednesday Podcast. And I'm sitting here with one of my best friends in the world, dude. This is we're having fun. Sweets is here. We were fucking around before the camera started. I mean, Tyson's listening. This is Tyson Bagent, everybody. This is Tyson Bagent. The problem was Tyson couldn't close the window, and then he persisted to say that he's in me and Tanner's heads, and he's not, but he thinks he is, and Tanner's not having it. So that's where we are. This has been the last 20 minutes leading up to this has been absolutely spectacular to just sit back and watch, but these two are going at it pretty hard. So, Tyson, are you all right, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Yeah? All right. Well, obviously, I think everybody wants to know, and I want to know, because we haven't even really talked about it all the way like you've been. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. He can't lock in.
He can't lock in. He can't lock in. Tyson can't lock in.
God damn, what is this happening right now, bro? Like when you laugh to the point that you cry, bro. How many times is that? Yo, how many times? On average, how many times does that happen a year? You laugh
for
till
me,
you cry.
dude, I probably do it twice a month.
You want to look it
So
up?
that's
bullshit.
24 times a year at most that you get to do that per year.
I feel like sometimes I feel like it might be like once a week, dude. Like I'll be laughing a lot.
That you cry?
Like tear up or
so,
cry?
Laughing so hard that you can't breathe and you cry.
Oh no, that's once a month, twice a month. No more.
Alright, so there's no real
Dude,
like,
that
time
is
frame.
crazy though. You just lost it all the way.
I know it is. It's
You
always
were
so
out of
random.
control.
It's always so random.
No, it's got to be the littlest. It's the littlest
Bruh,
things, dude.
Nah, I have actually a bad story about that.
What do you mean? Like you were?
So
How could that be a bad story?
So my dad's dad had like 12 kids.
So
with
your
7,
grandfather?
Yes.
Yeah.
Had like 7 baby mamas, 12
Right.
kids, right? Oh yeah.
Whoa.
7?
Nah, it's something right around those.
I'm
those
really
numbers,
curious
right?
how we get from here to you were crying, laughing.
Listen, bro. So he dies, but I didn't really I wasn't ever tight with him. Like I probably met him like 15 times that I can remember, like my whole life. And he died like when I was like early in high school, and we went to his funeral, and we were at this funeral, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden this lady gets up in the funeral, and we're thinking she's about to give a speech. She starts singing, right? Like singing songs, and she sounded like something dying.
Oh, dude.
Like, bro, it was actually so it was so
Oh,
bad
dude,
to the point where
you
I was
did not start crying.
I was
laughing.
getting secondhand embarrassment. I was like, oh my god, they really got this lady up here singing right now, right? I'm sitting beside Ezra.
He's
Bro,
dying.
we
He's dying.
caught eyes. It was one of those things where she started singing, and we noticed it, and we looked at each other, and as soon as we locked eyes,
You guys are both just.
I'm talking bad. Like I'm laughing so hard that I'm crying in the middle of this quiet funeral. But it was one of those things just then I could not control it.
Dude.
It's
nah,
like
I know what
everybody's
you mean.
mad at you. They're like, stop fucking laughing. And for whatever reason, that makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
The fact that you need to stop is I don't know. That shit is so funny.
Yeah.
I could not. That was one of the times I remember doing that.
Dude, no, I got a funny one too. Like the most recent one I can think of that was that bad because it was the same moment me and Don had. Big Don's not in here tonight. We're on spring break right now, so it's running lights.
He's at my house.
Yeah.
He's at my house more than I am. Get out of my room, Big Don.
Yeah.
Do you hate your family? Why do you never go home?
Because he loves it here,
I've
dude.
just been busy here.
Loves it here. That's not the
gotta
point.
edit
Either
this
way,
podcast.
we were at practice and we were doing the O-line was just doing set and wait, which is footwork drills, back and forth. And one of the guys stepped up and he started going. I'm not gonna say any names, but
Who was
everybody. No, I'm not saying any names.
Why?
I'm not saying because it's my guy. I don't want him to feel like it's anything embarrassing. Plus, he knows
So
he
if
does
he's
it.
your guy,
He makes a weird face anyway, right? I'm not even gonna let you try to turn it into that, right? So he makes like
Is
a
it
crazy face.
If he's
he makes
watching
like a crazy face.
If he watches
like,
this, won't he know it's him?
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Because it's like just more respectful. I feel like.
Bro, name drop.
No. That shit is mean, bro.
You could put that in like the description of this podcast. Podcast with Tyson Bagent.
Name dropping everybody.
Name drops. Gotta listen.
Just like clickbait. You want me to make clickbait?
Yeah. That's how it
needs
needs to be a little like shady
dude,
like
that's
that at the
scandalous,
beginning.
bro. I don't like that.
It needs to be so you can catch momentum, get some friction.
Yeah. So you sound like you're in it for the fame.
No, I'm just trying to help you out. I don't know.
I'm not in it for the fame though.
I could have
so
been had a successful podcast by now.
For real? You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
You think people will watch?
Yes.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I
we'll
wouldn't
see.
watch it.
I bet you Christian Etchison's episode blows yours out of the water.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Dude, I bet you it does. Me and Etch had a good conversation, and yours kind of sucks.
I'm
dude.
sure y'all did. Y'all are way closer in IQ than me and you are. I'm far above and beyond.
That's good, dude.
I'm
That's
sure
good.
y'all had a great time.
No, that's a good line. That's a good line. That's a good line.
I'm sure a lot of this conversation is gonna
Right over my head? You think so? Yeah.
some of
Probably,
it'll
dude.
stick, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
He's been
I
laughing.
think Tyson Bagent's full of shit.
Thank you, Tanner. Sweets has got my back.
He needed to say
I'm
that
the one-
because
I'm the
before he
one-
said that, I
I'm
thought
the
he was on
one
my
that's
side.
be spitting knowledge out here.
Yeah,
Don't worry
facts.
about it.
All right, so then, wise one, spit some knowledge then.
Don't do that.
Tell me a
Don't
story.
do that. Don't
Tell me
do
a
that.
story, Tyson. Tell
Don't
me
do
something
that.
that's going to teach me a lesson.
Brother, don't do that.
Come on, bro. Well, what's up?
Don't do
I want to see if it goes over my head.
You want me to put a gym on y'all right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Spit
You
something.
ever heard the story about the Chinese farmer and his son?
Nah, go ahead. Spit it.
All right. Listen. So, all right, look.
Go ahead.
All right, look. So, this Chinese farmer's got 3 cows, right? And the cows and the livestock and everything, that's how they make their living, right? So, it was, like, really important to them. So, they wake up one day, the son goes out, and he realizes that 2 of the cows ran away, which is detrimental for what they need in order to support themselves, right? Nah, listen. You go. Don't let this go. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Don't let this go over your head.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm listening.
Nah, he's too young.
Nah,
He's
tell
too young.
us another story, Tyson. Tell us
Can I
another
keep?
story.
Can I keep going?
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
All right. So 2 cows run away. He says, "Hey, Dad. 2 cows ran away. Isn't that's terrible? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, it's all done. Like, isn't this terrible?" And he says, "Well, I don't really know. I don't know if it's good or bad." And he did. That was confusing to him. So the next day, he goes back outside, realizes that the 2 cows came back and they brought 8 cows with them. Right? So now they've got abundantly above all that they need in order to support themselves and their family, right? And then so he's working out there since they got a bunch of cows. And then he said, after all the cows, he said, "Dad, they brought 10 more cows. They're back and they brought 10 more cows with them." He's like, "Isn't that great? That's wonderful." He's like, "Oh, well, I don't really know." So then he goes out and he's working with the cows. The next day he's got a lot more cows. Falls down. One of the new cows gets crazy and stomps on his leg and breaks his femur bone.
Mad cow disease.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Broke his femur bone.
Sure.
So then the doctors figure out that he's got to be in a wheelchair for 6 months, and he's the one who does most of the labor for the farm, and he's got to be in a wheelchair for 6 months, right? So then he's like, "Dad, like, what are we gonna do? I'm the one who been handling everything since you've been getting older, and now my leg's broken." Like, "Bro, that's terrible." He's like, "Well, I don't really know." Then next week, all the army recruiters are going house to house, recruiting dudes 18 and up to go fight in the war. So they get to his house, and he says, "Is your son here?" He says, "Yes." He was like, he's been recruited. He's got to go fight in this war. And they're like, "My son can't fight. His leg is broken." And then it's always like, whatever news you get, bad or good, don't react in that moment because you don't know down the line whether it's going to be good or bad.
Yeah. No bullshit.
So if I was gonna spit some knowledge at you, that was like
No,
what I just regurgitated to y'all, just so y'all can get a hint of where my mother freaking IQ is. Was a video I watched 2 years ago.
Okay, now hold on.
And that was the first time I talked
Tyson,
about it since I watched the video.
You know where I grew up, right?
Oh, here we go.
I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Wait, where'd you say?
But hey, that is real facts though. Like my dad would say the same thing. You know, if he called the cows, the ones who would come and eat were the ones that were hungry, but they were in a field, so they were off eating grass. You know, they're not always in one area. They move out. But I can tell you the same thing. I've come into the house and I've seen 4 cows, and other times I've seen all 20 of them. You know, all right there. But other times they're spread out.
Nah.
But hey,
I know what you mean.
I never picked up the lesson on that. I never realized that was such an important lesson, though.
No, yeah.
Because anyone else, because that makes sense too. When I bring someone to the house and they're looking for the cows, and they're like, "Where's all your cows at? Where all they go?" And I'm like, "Oh, like they're off in the other field. They're off wandering. They're not all in one area all the time."
Yeah.
I just feel like I get the message. It's a good message.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on the story, but like, it was a lot of steps. I feel like you could have probably eliminated a few in the middle and got this.
But I didn't create it. That was
I
just
know.
purely off memory from a video
I know.
watched 700
I'm just saying, well,
days ago.
whoever made that video could have.
You know who it was? It was Dan Blazarian.
For real?
Yeah.
That makes that significantly less impressive. I feel like that just kind of ruined that whole... Dude, I can't even believe... Really?
Yo,
I
you know
forgot
my
he
cousin... My cousin...
The rapper?
Is one, no. Girl.
Oh.
Is a girl that works for him. One of the girls that work for him.
Is that like a good or a bad thing? Is she rich?
It's not what you would think. So it's like... She's a really good girl, but she's adopted from the Ukraine and she's absolutely beautiful, right? So because of that image, he owns like a bunch of weed pop shops, right? She works at one of them, so he gives her that job, right? He just worked for his company because he wants like really good looking girls to like work his stuff, and then she just gets to travel and stuff.
That's awesome. It's a good job.
It's insane. Now it is like you're like
it's kind of wild though when you have to
and
tell
especially
people,
my uncle and aunt were pissed. Everybody was pissed
because it's like that dude is not.
And my dad was like, "Bro, like I swear to God, I would fucking kill my daughter if she did that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fuck."
Just because it's Dan Blazarian, isn't that wild? How a person can have that type of like aurora around them. Dude, like that, like just saying his name and you're like, she works for him. Okay, like, it's like you write him off.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, your reaction was like everybody in my family's reaction.
Yeah, like dude, that's rough. You know what I mean? Like it's dead ass. Like man, that sucks. That's kind of like what we were talking about at dinner, with like you were talking about like how like people get written off just from like where they're from too. You know what I mean? Like you were talking about like. For the draft and everything with the combine and everything that you're doing, and how like it's crazy that someone who came up and like their Friday nights were spent in a glory days, like you know what I mean, like compared to some people who is like
dude, like my cousin that was adopted, and then it is like this super pretty girl that lives in California now and works for Dan Blazarian and is like kind of like social media famous, right? And I'm thinking, bro, when they adopted her, she was like living in a bush on the side of the street in Ukraine.
Yes, I mean
malnourished as like super malnourished.
Well, yeah, the war there is terrible.
Yeah, and then like
I don't think this would have been during
speaking
that.
Ukrainian.
This would have been before that, right?
Yeah, she's my age. She got adopted when we were like 9 or 10.
This was before that.
Or like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So what year would that have been?
That 2008, 2009. But she gets adopted. Boom. Doesn't speak a lick of English. Learns English, and mind you. The people that adopted her, my uncle is a millionaire savage. So she gets adopted. Not only does she get adopted,
she hits the lottery.
She hits the lottery, right?
Dude.
2 really good people. And then boom, now she's like a famous girl in America. Like not famous, like not like a household name.
Is she really famous though?
Like she's Instagram famous.
Yeah.
Guarantee she gets paid
for
social media.
Even? You know what
Guarantee she gets paid for social media.
Yeah.
Do you know her Insta? You follow her on Insta?
Yeah, her name's Tanya Humphreys.
Settle down, sweets. We're doing a podcast.
Nah, you're gonna see. She hangs out with Jake Paul. She hangs out with Jake Paul.
Oh, 30K followers.
She hangs out with. She dated.
That's right.
Yeah, that's her. She dated. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his name is, but he's like the best skateboarder in the world right now. And she was dating him. No. Like the best one right now.
Him though, right?
Nah, he think he retired a couple of
I don't know, maybe, but I just feel like he still got it.
He's the GOAT, probably.
No, but he's the GOAT. Still got it. Like, I bet you he could go out there right now at 55 or however old he is.
I don't know what this dude's name was, but he was rated. He was like the best skateboarder in the world.
Oh, that's cool. Well, he's second best.
Yeah.
Third best. Tony Hawk, Wyatt Pellicano, then that guy.
Bro, what a terrible podcast host. Seriously.
Yeah, probably.
All right, bro. Let's get into this, man.
What do you want to?
This.
I'll try to, and you started this off by literally crying.
Let's get into football, man.
All right.
Let's get into football.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to know.
Seriously,
Tell them what to get into.
I know what to get.
Look.
Yo, what? What are we doing?
Football. I got
football.
stats right here.
We can talk
stats?
football.
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk stats?
We can talk everything football. Throw something.
What I was gonna ask him is how. I mean, he's been around the world and back, right? You've left. So, dude, I hate that you're ruining it. I will kill you. Do you know that?
What do you mean?
I will end
you. What do you mean?
I'm
game. Let's go.
How was the combine, Tyson? Can you tell us about that? Is that what you want me to say?
No, I want you to
lobby a little softball.
I want you to ask it authentically. I'm ready to knock it out.
Right.
All right. Give me the real question.
So you've never lived anywhere outside of this area your entire life. You've now, which is what a lot of people outside of this area would consider a bit restrictive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not a whole lot going on in this part of the world, right? Okay. And now you've gone down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Fort Myers, Florida. And you've been down at the beach living the high life for a while. You went to Indianapolis. You know what I mean? You've seen the road a little bit. How does it feel? What did you see? What was your favorite parts? What did you not like? What did you miss? Yeah?
Good question.
There you go.
So, I did literally, when I think about it, when I break it down and I consider the fact that I probably spent like 97% of the nights of my whole life sleeping in this area. Like, obviously go on vacation once a year for a week. You know, you're staying other places. But other than that, I deadass been not trapped, but just living inside the Eastern Panhandle. And it's such a small, like, area of land in the world. And I remember being so scared when I decided where I was going to train. And then the day that I left. Like, I decided where I was going to train. I was hype, excited. You know, had my agent. It was all set in stone, whatever. That was exciting. And then the day I left, bruh. So I hung out at New Year's.
Yeah, so I was there the night before.
When we were all hanging out at New Year's. Yeah. And then the next day I had to get up early to go pack my bag. And then leave.
I remember you left. I gave you a hug before you left.
And I'm packing the bag at my crib, bro. And I'm sick. I'm so
feelings,
sick.
Dude,
bro, I'm sick as I'm so sick. I'm just thinking like, bro, my grandma's about to be upset. My mom about to be upset. My sister's about to be upset. I'm upset. I cannot believe I'm leaving. Like, this is just feeling sick to my stomach. And then the whole time my dad drove me to the airport, I was just not talking. I was just like just blown. Like, not even blown, but just
it's not.
I was like,
it's
bro,
almost like
this
shock.
Is horrible.
Yeah,
I felt like I was going against my will.
Because you're just like, and it just feels like it's not even real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, what am I really doing? Like, this is all I know. And then it's like, you also have the nerves of like, this is really it. Because like now it's like from here on out it's business, right? Like, it's like you are no longer doing this like just like there's a dollar amount at the end of everything you're doing now. You know what I mean? Whether that dollar amount is being handed to you or an agent, there's someone's paying somebody if you're participating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's because you're going out, alone for real too. You've always had that.
Bro. Yes.
That's
and it was like the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, bro, it's only 8-10 weeks of my life. Like, it's all gonna be straight. But I was just not, and it was like coupled with the fact I was like, bro, I already know that I'm gonna be like, I'm just preparing my mind that I'm about to be locked in for 8 to 10 weeks. Yeah. Like, I'm literally going to force myself to do everything right. Which, that thought's scary, too, because that's like, sometimes you just want to chill. But I'm like, nah, I'm not going to chill. So, like, all these things, I'm like, bro, I'm going to fly out here by myself, be living by myself. This is horrible.
Dude, that's like the
And then
hardest
now, well, I got there, got in the groove. It was good. Went to the Senior Bowl. That shit was terrible.
You didn't like the Senior Bowl?
Nah, they just made it like the hardest thing in the world.
What
They
do you
made
mean?
it extremely stressful, extremely strenuous, like everything. Like,
Really?
Yeah, because you had to learn the whole offense,
Uh-huh.
right?
How many plays do you think you learned?
Well, I'm just
for
saying
that?
you had to learn like the terminology. So
Right,
it was
yeah,
all
yeah.
shit I've done.
Yeah,
like,
well,
before in my life.
yes.
It was probably like half of the Shepherd playbook. Like if you
Okay.
installed half.
That's still a
Yeah,
decent
because you're
amount
only
of
there
plays.
you're only there
For only
5
being
days.
there
You're only
a
there for
week,
5
that's a
days,
decent
yeah.
amount of plays to have to
So-
know and memorize.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
learning all
So
new
we're learning all
terminology.
that. We're having team meetings and position meetings. We're having like speeches we got to get to, like parades you got to go to, and then on top of all that, 3 of the nights, you from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. meet with do NFL interviews.
When do you
That's
study?
that's stressful.
Bro, you gotta like get it how you gotta just study throughout the day in the team meeting, and then when you get to that
Yeah, bro.
hotel. So like the only fun thing of that whole thing was the game. Like,
And
that
being
was
a
it.
quarterback is way worse. You know what I mean? Like
Bruh.
learning shorthanded like
Bruh.
that. 'Cause you guys got the most of you.
I'm sitting there. They had because we had the
Ugh.
earphones in our
Yeah.
helmet, and it was the first time I ever dealt with that.
How was that?
And he's sitting there calling the dudes on a walkie-talkie, calling the play.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
couldn't even hear it.
I'm listening to it, bro, and it would be like the plays would be crazy.
Yeah,
And it'd be like, gun spread right, 3 scat, Y scissors, F drive.
Mm-hmm.
So like right there, but it's like. He's on the mic. He's like, all right. He's calling his offense that he already knows. He's like,
Right.
all right, Tyson. Here we go. We're going gun spread right, 3 scat,
Throws it
Y
at
draft,
you all
F drive.
quick, dude.
Gun spread right, 3 jab, Y draft, F drive. And I'm like, okay. And
Run
then
that
it's-
back for me one
Yeah,
time.
so he would say it twice, and then if I didn't get it the first time, I was so nervous the second time. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, I gotta get it this time.
I gotta get it.
Or else
Otherwise I'm
it's not.
fucked.
Yeah, I gotta tell him to
Dead
repeat
mission.
it, and then he's all like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy, but I didn't fuck up any of them, thank God. But that was stressful. I was so happy to go back to Florida after that.
Really?
Like, when I hated to go to Florida when I was here, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to go to Florida. Then I went to Florida, and I went to Mobile.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I can't wait to go back to Florida. Anything is better than this.
Yeah.
Right, back to my house.
Anything is
Back to
better
the house.
than
Back to
Mobile.
the house. Back in the groove. Then I had the combine. And that was like the same thing. All these flights when I'm going somewhere, the flight is at like 5 a.m.
Well, that's just like how flights work. Like I'm flying out to Charlotte this week, and I gotta go. My flight's at like 7, I think.
I know, but 5 a.m., like, bro, 5 a.m., I was having to get up every time I wanted to take a flight at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it sucks. But that's like part of life,
I'm
bro.
like, what? But it was like consistent every single
Bro,
one.
it's still a shock factor. I mean, you having to get up at 3
Yeah,
a.m. when
yeah.
you
Yeah, like, what? Even if you're normal. No. Like, that was crazy. And then, like, I was going to come back to Florida after the combine for a week. But I was like, nah, I'm ready to go home.
There's no way you were able to sleep comfortable on that plane. Were you in?
I didn't sleep on a plane.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You can't even sleep on the plane.
No.
'Cause that's
No.
12 guys.
Wait, yeah, I'm taking a
They
flight
didn't
at 5
have, they didn't
a.m. I
have
can't
you
even.
first class?
I did on the way back from Indy.
On the way to
The way to Florida the first time and the way back from the combine.
You had first class.
Living
At
good,
5 a.m. in the morning.
TB2,
Yeah.
living good.
And you're fucking.
I
And
would've
you're
been
bitching
slumped.
about
No,
it.
no,
You
no,
were-
no,
you
no,
could've
no, no,
been
no, no,
slumped.
no, 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 no.
I would've
Listen,
been-
listen,
I
listen.
would've been laying
My
back.
This guy can play.
obviously
No,
my
I'm
my
first
I-
class,
my
I'm so
flight
bad.
my flight to and from Mobile was not first class because there's no planes. Like there's no, it's a bunch of rinky-dink small planes.
You got a little.
Yeah, so there is no first class. The first time I left home, that was a first class seat, and then when I left Indianapolis at like that flight was at like 11
Did you come straight here? Where'd you go to
from
Florida?
Indy to here.
You came here.
Yeah,
Yeah, so how long have you been back now?
1 week.
1 week.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to come home, bro. I could not wait to come home. And I was so satisfied with how I did on everything that I was like, all right, I came down here, I got better, I did what I was exactly supposed to do, now I'm ready to go home.
Right.
I'm ready to go home, keep getting at it. And I took 4 days off when I came back. It was the greatest time of my life. Because I was so satisfied. Well, I had been so stressed, like leading up to the Senior Bowl, leading up to the Combine, that as soon as I did well in the Combine, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder.
Right.
I was like, oh.
And you did well. You balled
Yeah,
out.
that's why I was able to relax like that. Because I knew if I would have did bad, I would have been like, just like, come on, man. Like, just blown.
Yeah. No, you balled out too, which is awesome.
Fine.
So what I was gonna ask then is like, if that's how, because like that sounds like it was pretty stressful, but like you're gonna have to do it all again pretty soon if things go according to plan, right? Unless you're somewhere local. But even then, it's like you're gonna have to go wherever you get drafted.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know.
Yeah, no, and I don't think.
You think that's gonna be different because it's like
I don't think
you're
I'll
no
never
longer.
be going. I'll never be going for the amount of time I was just gone.
Right.
Ever again. Like I'll fly home once a month, once every 2 months. Something.
How long were you gone altogether?
3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about. Man, dude, that's crazy. It kind of flew by for me, at least. For you, it probably didn't. You were probably.
It was just super
Because that's crazy. I feel like
repetitive.
Yeah, but I feel like New Year's to me, like the thing I hadn't even thought about it. That was the last time I saw you until last week, and that really to me only feels like a month ago.
Yeah, that New Year's feels like a decade ago.
Yeah, for you.
Because I was doing the same thing.
You've done so many different things.
I was doing like it got to the point where I would just like. I would look for it. Like it rewired how I even thought about the week. I was like excited to get better throughout the week or whatever. But then once like Saturday morning was over, because it was like our last workout, we get done Saturday morning at the field, and then I would just be looking forward to just being able to just chill for the rest of Saturday and Sunday. Like I didn't want to go see nobody. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sit back, watch whatever dumbass show I could watch. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I look forward to getting up so early Sunday just so I could just be awake and just lay around. Or go to the beach. I went to the beach a couple times. It was sweet.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool. The routine was cool. But I like because I don't need to. It's easy to not be in routine when I'm here. I know so many people. I know so many things to do. But like I kind of like am trying to find joy in that too. Like forcing myself to be in a super structure, even though I'm all out in the world by myself right now. Like nobody's telling me to do anything right now. It's like the first time I'm like out on my own.
Yeah.
With no structure from like a weight program, a quarterback coach.
And it's a short window because, like I said again, if things go to plan, you'll be back under another regimen sooner than you think. You know, and that's a crazy.
And it's like even like with the league, like once you're in the league, there is no week like the Senior Bowl week.
Yeah,
because you're like you're interviewing for the job.
Yeah.
While also
No. I was gonna say like I think it's like I know it's stressful, more stressful.
And we had
this
Alec,
time around.
we had Alec Ingold, the fullback for the Dolphins, come speak to us, and he said one thing I was surprised of when we got in the league was the lack of physicality throughout the week, like in that practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's super like dudes are getting paid, they want to be safe.
Yeah,
in their practice.
yeah.
And he was saying the amount of free time you have.
Yeah.
Like it's all up to
They
you.
trust you.
It's all up to you.
They trust you.
how
You're
good.
getting paid, so it's like if you're not, because there's two sides to that sword, right? Because if you either take that and be like, okay, I got to be great because they're paying me to be here, right?
Yeah.
Which is the logical way to think about it. Or there's the other side of it where if you do start to slack off, well, we can take your money and your job and your livelihood just as fast, brother. Like that money is not all guaranteed. We can pull, like if you start bullshitting or whatever, like, and not handling your business like we're trusting you to do, like it's over with. So
that's why also this whole thing is super stressful too, because all I need to do is sneak my foot in the door. Like if I can sneak my foot in the door, bro, and I can get on the practice field with them, there's no way I'm getting cut, or there's no way I'm good enough to where they're like, I'm good enough to like be at least like a trusted backup.
yeah.
Like,
Well, dude, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I've actually had a buddy that has done that before. My old running back in high school, one of them, my first one, the one I tore my ACL blocking for, he is now Derrick Henry's third string. But he was he didn't get drafted. I think it was last year was his first year. He didn't get drafted. He was a practice squad guy. And he works hard. You know what I mean? He's like you. He's very, very strong-willed, good, hard worker. And he just willed his way up, and he's getting reps on Sundays now. Like it's tough.
Yeah, bro.
That's tough. And it's like you see people do it. That's like something that I believe. Like I really believe. Like it's not in this day and age. It's not as hard to be great anymore. Like, I feel like if you really want it, like, you can just you can really will that shit into existence. Like, if you work hard enough, you can,
tools, resources.
Yeah, like, if you work hard enough, like, you can be good at whatever you really want to be good at. Not whatever. Like, there are some things that are nature versus nurture, but, like, for the most part, like, something like this, you've been given the nature part of a football build, and you've been so productive with it that you are now getting ready to compete at what is the highest level you can possibly compete at. You've thrown more touchdowns than any person to ever step on a college football field. That's a crazy stat, dude.
That is pretty wild.
And it's like, I love you. What about you is different than somebody that is just as tall and born the same? It's all your mind, dude. You just work harder.
Dude, that's exactly what it was.
You know what
and
I mean?
I have this thing where I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, this little bubble, this Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia bubble that I've been in, where there's no direct like tunnel to the outside world or whatever. Like, I just feel like I was trapped in that bubble, so it was completely unknown how good other dudes were that were good. So I was nervous that they would be really good.
Yeah.
So it caused me to work like
You
way
put people
harder.
on the pedestal.
Yeah,
But like that's good and it's
so
bad.
hard because it was unknown how good I needed to be.
Yeah.
So then one day I was finally around the people and I was like, "Yo, no way! I've done worked myself to this point to where now I am better than these guys."
Yeah.
But not because I was just given, but because I just the like high functioning anxiety.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
You worked for it, yeah.
Like fear of failure and fear of like you say, you put those guys on the pedestal, and it's like you do that all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I do that all the time. Like, I'm sure, like, I look at it as, like, there are people that I've seen go to the league. There's people, like, you do too. We've all got buddies that, like, at this level in college, you have friends, or you do now because you went to the combine. Everybody you know is going there. But for me, it's like, I have buddies that have gone. I know, like, I've had coaches that have gone, whatever. So you hear the stories and everything, and it just, to me, sounds like there's just a difference in mentality, and you can see it in people. Like for me, for example, like there's people that have better frames than me, that I'm a better offensive lineman than. You know what I mean? Like, there are taller people on our roster in the O-line position that are, by their build, more equipped for the position than me. Why am I where I am? Because I do this. You know what I mean? This is what I put my mind to. This is what I dedicate my life to, just like you have done for, I mean, yours is on a different level. But, you know what I mean? And it's just something that I think is such an important message. Because, like, people forget all the time that is the only difference between, like, me being great and someone else not being great is, like, they know what they're doing wrong. You know what I mean? It's just you get comfortable and you don't want to do the little things. Like, the training every day gets excessive. You wake up somewhere and you're like, man, you know, I trained pretty hard yesterday. I could take today off. Or I went to the stream yesterday. I did 10 minutes. I could probably take today off. You know what I mean? And it's like you start doing that. You play that game with yourself.
And you did.
Yeah. I did today. Yeah. Absolutely I did today. Yeah. And that sucks. I lost today. Thank you for that. God, you're the worst. I can't believe you just aired me out. Yeah, no, I lost today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not afraid to admit it. I lost today. Did you get in the stream? When did you go?
After we threw.
Your car was parked outside right after that. I don't remember you ever going to the stream. But it's okay. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you what I saw. But yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, that is the truth of it, right? Is like, everybody knows what they have to do. The knowledge is there. Everybody has seen it. Everybody knows what is required to do that, but it's just they don't want to do it.
Yeah. I always think about if I died and I didn't like do anything cool.
David Goggins.
That makes me cry. Like, that makes me want to cry. Like,
Did you talking about the Goggins quote?
No, I don't know.
He talks. I think he says it in a couple different podcasts, but he's like, what if, like, when I die, right? Whatever you believe in, your higher power, like, you got to go face to face with them, and I don't want to sit down and have him hand me, like, my life, and it be like a bunch of stuff that I couldn't do. You know what I mean? Like, something that I couldn't accomplish, and like have him say, oh, like, this is what you were supposed to be, but you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure I get everything I can out of this.
Or even like being scared to take a chance because you want to play it safe because other people might think it's weird.
Yeah, dude.
Or that you just might be scared it might not work.
Yeah.
And you just don't do it, but then like you die anyway.
Right.
Like
That you know what?
die
Honestly,
anyway.
I had that realization with this.
Yeah.
Like for real, because like there's a lot of, I think I talked about it a little bit, I think with Edge too, but like there's a lot of people that like could very easily drag me, like be like, this is weird, what are you doing? Nobody wants to hear from you. What do I know? And whatever. But it's like I just gotta at the end of the day remember that it's not for them, it's for me. And it's like I want to try it. You know what I mean? Why shouldn't I try it? And guess what? It could go well. It could not go well. At the end of the day, the sun's coming up tomorrow, and I'm still like probably going to be better than whoever is out there hating on me for doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm
So
not.
Tanner,
worried.
what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What chance are you about to take? What are you taking in life right now?
He's part of this. He has a stake in this. He has a stake in this.
Bro,
Actually, me and Tanner were talking about. We were.
Yeah. What you talking about?
We gave ours. Now you're here too.
Like, what do you mean by like what chance? What chance are you taking on life?
Tanner takes chances all the time.
That's what I'm
He's a
saying.
big-
I'm interested to hear.
This is one of them. I think he's
I
an
know, but other
investment
than
guy.
this, we're
Really.
all in it. Like, I'm not in this, but like we know that. I know.
Well,
this
you're
is-
part of it now. You're
Yeah,
episode
yeah,
2.
yeah.
At this point, you are 50% of the content that is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a real honor.
Yeah.
I work. I focus on school. I got accounting class to learn. I did
What
good on my
are you
time
gonna do? Like what do you want to do?
I want to eventually end up at the U.S. Treasury.
Really?
Yeah, it's like an auditor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that like a horrible road to that point?
No, not really. It's just you have to, before you can really get there, you have to get experience. Like you have to have 8 to 10 years experience.
Hey, the mic isn't even picking up what you're saying, Tanner. And
before-
Joe was probably so quiet. We're just looking into space.
you just have to have experience before you can really like apply to work there because they're not.
It's still not picking it up.
I don't know.
I think you were sitting closer last time. You were definitely sitting closer.
Anyways, okay. So you have to have like experience
It's not
before.
picking it up.
No, it is. No, you're a dick, dude.
This guy.
This is why we couldn't
That's
have
why I
you.
don't fuck with you,
Yeah,
Tyson.
seriously, man.
The agents, bro.
Bro, 8 to 10 years, and then where are you gonna be that 8 to 10 years?
So
where
like
are gonna
you
get
gather
that from?
experience. Like if I worked at a bank and I was the manager at like a bank as a financial advisor. Right now my focus is in management. I want to get finance too, and then go from there.
Nice.
And then I have to get experience. Like I have to work at a bank for so long, and I like a position, and put that under my belt. And once I have 8 to 10 years, and they've seen I've worked at different places, that's when I can apply. But they won't take you straight out of college, even with a master's. They won't.
Are you getting your message?
Oh yeah, 100%.
What are you getting your master's in? Damn, when I lean back, I don't think it's picking me up unless I'm talking really loud. Oh, dude, we can be in trouble here. We might need to check this. Dude, that would suck. 40 minutes in, and we have to burn the tape?
Do you want me to?
Yeah. Fuck.